All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Game Dev Club. This week, we're building on everything we've done in terms of character modeling. First of all, we made a weird alien head, and then we did a weird alien body, and we said we wanted to do some animation. Next week, we're going to do skeletal animation so we can make things walk and wave, but you said you wanted to keep things relatively simple today, so we're just going to do normal animation, as in things that move. So I have got an animation here. Oh, let me look through the camera first. There we go. Go back to the beginning and press play. We've got a monkey that falls from space. The camera zooms all over the place. And I want the monkey to move forwards or dance. There'll be a competition for the best animated monkey. Some of you will make a monkey body. Some of you will just stick with a monkey head. It's the animation I'm most interested in, so I'll show you the animation first part. Right. Let's start again. We're going to get rid of the cube. X to delete. And I'm going to Shift A to add a plane and S to scale it up. That's what the monkey is going to sit on. This thing here is the camera. So if you left click on that and press 0 on the numpad to look through it, that's going to be the camera. Now to move the camera, when it's selected, you can press Shift and the little back tick. And that's the button to the left of 1 along the top of your keyboard. So to look through the camera, that was 0 on the numpad. The one that I want you to press now is not on the numpad. It's to the left of all of your number keys at the top of your keyboard. So if you press Shift and that back tick and then move your mouse, you can look around. And you can use your Minecraft controls, WAS and D, or Shift WAS and D to move around, and it moves the camera. So we know how to move the camera. Can we now animate the camera? Well, there's two ways. There's a long way and there's an easy way. The long way is you move along the timeline, you move to where you are, Shift back tick, and then WAS and D, and then you have to press I on the keyboard and remember your location, rotation and scale, or lock-rot scale, and it puts a little blob on here. However, that way is rather frustrating. I'm going to Control Z. An easier way that automatically does that is clicking the record button above your timeline. That automatically puts your keyframes in. So if I Shift and back tick WAS and D and move my camera and then click to confirm it, I get a keyframe. I move along the timeline. This is 24 frames per second, so 24 will be 1 second. Shift back tick, move my camera around a little bit and then click the mouse. There's another blob. That means that Blender will do the hard work of animating between the beginning keyframe and the end keyframe. And it's really nice. Just remember to turn record mode off at the end. All right, now you know how to animate stuff. Let's start all over again and show you what we're going to animate. Get rid of the cube, X, add a plane, S, Shift A to add a monkey, GZ to move it upwards in the Z axis, right click and shade smooth. Let's put it in not the rendered mode, but the material mode. I'd like it to be vaguely monkey colored rather than just white at the moment. So we'll go to the materials tab, add a new material slot, put in a new material and make it kind of monkey colored. That's orange and dark orange. If it doesn't work, it's because you've forgotten to change it away from solid to material. I think it's a really good idea to double click and rename your materials. You probably won't be bothered to do that, but especially if you end up exporting it into a game engine like Unity, it's especially helpful. If you go into edit mode with tab, you can select individual vertices or edges or faces by pressing 1, 2 or 3 or clicking up here. Faces, 3 on the keyboard is really useful because you can get all of these. And let's talk about different selection modes. You can do B for a box select, A to select all, or select nothing if you press A multiple times. Or probably my favorite is C. C means you can scroll the mouse wheel to change the circle size, select with left click, or unselect with middle click, or your mouse wheel. So that means you can kind of paint your selection and press escape when you want to get rid of circle select. Why is that useful? Well, you can add another material slot, a new material to that slot, and call it white. Assign that current material to the current vertices. There we go. And I want some pupils, so I'm going to need to split this up a little bit smaller. How do I do that? Well, with these selected, I can press F3, not F and then 3, but F3 at the top of your keyboard, and search for subdivide, which has subdivided the selected faces. That's great. A to select all, A twice to select none, C for circle select, and I can get that bit. Escape to stop selecting with circle mode. C, there we go. I've got all the bits I want to be black. Add a new slot in, double click, call it black. Change the color and assign it. There we go. So some of you will just animate a monkey that looks like this. At the end of the video, I'll show you how to make it into a full monkey with a body, but some of you will get bored before that point. So how do we animate the monkey? Just like we did for the camera. You select it, you make sure record mode is on, and then you move it. GZ or R and Z to rotate around the Z axis. We've got a keyframe in there. Let's move along the timeline. GZ. There we go. And then if we go back to the beginning of our animation and press play, it's going to move. Right, so it moves down. I want it to kind of look around now. So I'm going to move along in the timeline. RZ, and it's going to look over there. And Blender will do the hard work. It falls down and it looks around. Right, let's look through the camera. So numpad 0. I want to remember where we are here. Insert I keyframe. Let's remember the location, rotation, and scale. Move along over here. Let's move the camera. Shift backtick, Shift and D over there, and then click. So this is what we've got so far. And then further along, let's zoom in to an extreme close-up of the monkey's face, shall we? Shift backtick, W. There you go. All right, so my animation lasts for 62 frames, but if I press play, it seems to go on for like 250 frames before it repeats. You can set the start frame and the end frame, so if I put 62 in here, it will just keep looping through those first 62 frames. Nice. I said at the end of the video, I'd show you how you can make the monkey into a full monkey rather than just a monkey head. So if you're still watching at this point, this is how. Edit mode with tab. Help. I don't want to see the plane. There we go. Zoom in. And select that face and that face with shift and click. And I can just extrude it down. And then extrude it down again. E for extrude. And then S to scale and E to extrude. Now I want the whole thing to be moved up. So I'll go into object mode by pressing tab, GZ to move the whole thing up, back into edit mode so I can edit it. E to extrude, S to scale. What other keyboard shortcuts are useful? Oh, Control R we talked about last time. That puts a loop cut on. Remember, you've got 1, 2, and 3. 1 to select vertices, 2 to select edges, and 3 to select faces. And then you can E to extrude, which is kind of useful, but I don't want blocky arms. I want smooth arms, and I want mirrored arms. Well, we did this last time. If I go back into object mode, add a mirror modifier, deliberately going fast, because we've done this before. There we go. And Control 2, a subdivision surface modifier. It's beginning to look okay. Back into edit mode with tab, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude for an elbow, E to extrude, E to extrude again, S to scale, to have a little wrist, E to extrude. Let's get this bit, F3 to search for something because I don't know the keyboard shortcut. Let's subdivide it quite a lot so that we can pull up a thumb, E to extrude, and maybe some fingers. E to extrude. Kind of looks like he's holding on to something. Or she. Shouldn't make assumptions about gender. Sorry. The name of this monkey is Suzanne, but I still shouldn't make assumptions about gender. E to extrude. Spindly little legs. E to extrude again. Or press Z to only go downwards. E to extrude again. Ooh, and then extrude outwards. We've got a little monkey. Now notice that the animation that I put on for just the face still applies to the whole monkey. So I can go back to the beginning, shift and left, space to play. or 0 on the numpad, shift left and space, that's my entry to the competition. You've got until 4:30 to make the best bouncing, dancing monkey. Next week, we'll learn how to make the monkey flail its arms all over the place or walk around. This week, it's just a monkey face or a monkey body and the camera moving. See what you can do.